Hey everyone! It's been a really long time since I made a video last, and I cut my hair, as you can see. It's a big change, but I just felt like making one today, and like I said before, I think I'll just tend to go through phases, like with most things I do, with just the videos, and I'll make a whole bunch at once, and then I'll take a break and make a whole bunch at once. At least that's the pattern that seems to be going on. I figured I would start out with any requests I had, and I got one 2 weeks ago, which makes me sad that I missed it because I just wasn't checking it. But it's for something I can't imagine too many people would ask about, but it's kind of funny that it was asked anyways because my sister has the same kind of questioning. Like, it was ISTJ versus INTP, and my sister's always been, because she's grown up with an INTP and an ENTP having a lot of influence on her with my dad and myself, and so she's always been a lot more philosophical or idea-oriented than most ISTJs would be, and it's been really hard to type her for that reason. She's always been like, am I INTJ or INTP or ISTJ? Like, it took us a really long time to figure out. She determined now that she decided ISTJs were chameleon types, that they just kind of blend in with their environments and stuff. So that's why she's having a hard time with that. So, normally, ISTJ and INTP are pretty different, I would say. But, in cases where they're not, I would say the biggest, so, one thing, so there's, if you look at the functions, there's, the F types are opposite for the ISTJ and the INTP. The INTP is going to be extroverted feeling, the ISTJ is going to be introverted feeling. Other things, if you look at their T and Fs are opposite, so ISTJs are extroverted thinking, INTPs are introverted thinking. In fact, they're very strong introverted thinking. And then their sensing function's the same, and their intuition function is the same. Should be, yeah. So that's just the main thing, is how is where their thinking and feeling functions are really like focused. So with the INTP is very rarely going to be like insulted, and usually when they're insulted, it doesn't have to, it's gonna be it's different. I feel like how ISTJs and INTPs react to things is different. So an ISTJ is gonna be more likely to have personal feeling problems. So like, if like someone insults them or whatnot, then they're gonna be like, take it personally. So if I see something, I say I'm just a jerk to my sister and I just say something really mean, then she's gonna be hurt by it. An ISTP is gonna be like, why would you do that? Like, they're gonna be mad about it and they're gonna be hurt, but it's kind of different. They're gonna look more at and I kind of do the same thing. Like, when the INTP, like, if they get insulted or someone's just a jerk to them, while an ISTJ's reaction is gonna be, that was mean, that hurt me. An INTP is gonna feel the emotion, and they'll like, okay, I'm feeling mad and upset about this, but then their road is going to go down to more logical, introverted thinking, and they're going to be like, what you just did made no sense. How did that gain you anything? You literally did something unbeneficial just to insult me. And so that's kind of where they're going to go down, is like reasons and logical reasons why, like, what you did was annoying, it was rude, it made no sense, and find the reasons why. An ISTJ is going to feel things, and they're not going to really know very well why, because their feeling function isn't really super high, as in, just say it's the fourth of, so it's about as low as it can, third, sorry, third, their feeling function is their third function, yeah, because their end function is all or nothing, so it's not really high, so they're not like super in tune with understanding their feelings so much as they, like, my sister will get really frustrated because she'll be like, I'm feeling things, but I don't know why, and I don't know if I have a good reason to be mad, but I just am, and she's like, she gets really irritated with herself because she feels like there's no reason to be feeling it, but she knows she is. And so that's really, ISTJs aren't going to have the reaction to emotions of thinking through them and like finding why am I upset, or like, and they'll have this a little bit. I mean, of course, anyone's going to have this, but like the INTP is going to find reasons like for why one, I guess, like, yeah, I feel like they end up making themselves more upset though when they do that, when they like are like, oh, like finding reasons why what the person said was awful, and then the ISTJ is just gonna be like, just have the emotions and express them and not fully understand them, and then they'll move on. And ISTJs really, both INTPs and ISTJs tend to just not really hold on to things very long, kind of for different reasons, but not too different. So the introverted thinking and the extroverted thinking. So here's an example of a difference between my sister and my dad, who are ISTJ and INTP. My dad will go through a lot of evolution theories, and finding reasons why it's true, and understanding it and having debates with me, and he and I will talk about stuff like that. And my sister will always sit there when we're debating about this, and she'll be like, why? Like, there's no reason. It cannot benefit you at all, knowing whether we came up from evolution or we just kind of like poofed into existence or whatever. Like, knowing how the world began cannot benefit you is her theory. So it's like, to her it's not presently useful. So that's one difference, is like, she likes things, she does enjoy, sometimes she'll enjoy debating with us and stuff, and sometimes she'll enjoy it more than I will. Sometimes I'll want to be doing other things. But she enjoys it if it's useful to her. If she feels like it can help her in her life, or she can use it to help others, or anything, like if it's currently useful. So it's kind of her SJ, is like, she has to have things that are beneficial to her. So like, she wants to go into robotic engineering, and she's really excited because she likes the idea of creating something and then using it. But she would hate the idea of creating something and then not using it. Whereas me, I just like creating things. I'm ENTP. I can just like, which is why we have such a hard time like finishing things, because we don't actually care about using the thing so much as we care about the act of creating it. So going back to the extrovert thinking, introvert thinking, which I kind of got sidetracked from a little bit. So the extrovert thinking is really oriented on facts and your external logic. So they're going to be a lot more particular about concrete things. And an INTP is going to be a lot more theoretical. That's a big difference. That's one of the main differences, I would say, between INTJ, not talking about ISTJ, but INTJ and INTP, because that's more obvious to me, is just INTJs are very concrete and INTPs are very theoretical. And that's the same thing with the ISTJ. My sister is more likely to ask for the proof of things. She also, as she has such high introverted sensing, she's really particular about the details. And INTP is gonna, so you're placed with two situations, and and you have to make a decision or something, or you're about to go on a trip. A big group of people is about to go on a trip, and an INTP is gonna be thinking more of along the lines of, if they see a problem happening, they will work through it, like, what am I going to do, like, just thinking about it logically, and thinking, they're really introverted and thinking about it like, okay, like, just, you know what I mean, like, going through any just kind of thoughts more. So what I'm trying to say is that ISTJs are going to be a little more external about that, and that they're going to be asking questions. They want the details really bad. I knew when I went to my driving class, when I did my driver's class, and I had the person who was partnered up with me to drive with me, he was ISTJ, and oh my gosh. So we would start something new, and he would have 10 questions just off the top of his head, like, okay, I need to do this detail, this detail, this detail, this detail, and I'm sitting here like, these are good things to know, and honestly, it's one of the things that I wish I was better at, is thinking of those questions, but I'm just like, okay, like, I'll figure it out later, and then when later comes, then I'm like, oh, I probably should have known that one thing that I didn't ask about, but I could have. I'm really bad at details, but ISTJs are really good at details, and they're going to want lots of details and, like, have to know everything and know everything that's going on and make sure that everything's okay, because what if they have to prepare for the place that they're going has an outdoor shower, and then they're going to have to prepare for that, or, like, my sister, she likes surprises, but when she says she likes surprises, but unless it's, like, it could inhibit her from preparing fully. She wants to be completely prepared. So we were on a retreat, and the people who were leading it were like, we're gonna go on a trip. And my sister, and so we live on an island, and so there was a beach, and so she was like, okay, is it like a hiking trip? Are we hiking in the mountains? Or do I need to bring sandals, because are we gonna go swimming? And she's like, I'm not telling you, because she just like the adventure and the surprise and stuff the leader did. And my sister was freaking out. She's like, what shoe do I bring? Like, what if I go and I'm not fully prepared? And it stressed her out so much. So they get really locked down on the details. And INTP is going to be a little more, instead of freaking out about not knowing what shoe to bring, they're going to think, okay, well, I see that I have this now. What's the most likely thing to happen, and so they'll think about that. So, which I guess goes along with the ISTJs want concrete, and the INTPs are going to be more theoretical, and more in their heads, and thinking through things like that. That's because both types tend to rely on their, well, of course, because they're thinkers, they rely on their thinking function a lot. And so that's really what you're seeing, a lot of what I've talked about, is that concrete versus theoretical. And just the whole SJ fact of, like, how they are. A lot of things that I've described the ISTJ for, it's pretty common SJ stuff. So yeah, that's the main thing. And I'll say that's really, like, the main thing that bogs down to with ISTJs versus INTPs. I hope this helped, and that you can figure out. Let me see. The person who requested it was, oh my gosh, I can't say that name. Yeah. Agrawal. Yeah, that person. So I hope the person who requested it, Mr. Agrawal, that this helped and that you can figure out your type better. And if you can't, just comment and we can talk about it and sort through things, and that'd be fun. And I'm excited to be posting a video, because it's been a while, and I like talking about these things. And thank you so much for your request, because it's nice when someone else can tell me what to do, like what video to make, because otherwise I'm like, what do I make today? Like, I don't know. Anyhow, so thanks so much for watching. Bye!